Probably not to many surprise, Black Ops 4's update today really wasn't all that much, and because there's not a lot on deck because of what's also coming up later this week elsewhere in the Call of Duty world. Next week, like we mentioned, is the start of the Days of Summer event, so think of this week in Black Ops 4 like the last week of Grand Heist or the last week of Absolute Zero, which unfortunately is just time to kill before more content eventually drops. Like we mentioned in our Things to Look Out For video yesterday, we're going to be getting a lot of teasers probably throughout the coming days for Days of Summer, but at the same time, it won't offer as much in the way of content immediately until then. Plus, we have what is perhaps the biggest factor in all of this is that teasers for Infinity Ward's next game have already started. While we didn't get an image, a name reveal, or anything like that so far, today, way in the dead of night, it was nearly 4 a.m. whenever I saw it on the East Coast, Call of Duty blacked out all of their social accounts. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. Their content has been archived for later revival, but everything was removed or blacked out in some way, shape, or form, with a plain black header and a new logo displayed as the avatar with various text in the bio portions of their accounts. Curiously, the bios actually differed in text and translation depending on the region, giving even more hints or subtle teasers than we may consider at first glance. The Redditor ITV noted 6 variations with possibly more out there in terms of the differences of the bios. The main one says going dark, the Russian account says silence in the air, the Spanish account says we start, the German account says lights out, the French, Italian, and Middle Eastern accounts say silence on the radio, and the Japanese account says prepare for the infiltration operation. So while these have zero meaning as of now, it definitely is curious as to what may be afoot. While we didn't again get any official tangible teaser released in the standard way of imagery, trailer, or something of the like, that can only be inferred that it's going to be coming up either tomorrow, maybe Thursday, maybe Friday. Who knows, maybe it's even a progressive drip of content. But in that regard, we're so close, and of course, we'll keep you up to date here on the channel, so if you're interested in any of that, make sure you stick it here. But a large portion of probably what is going to be happening this week in terms of that front is also why there's probably no major updates as well to Black Ops 4 as of today. So bear that in mind. I've been critical of the game and how this split of Spectre Rising has been handled, which has been less than ideal in my book, but this part is also strategically a conscious decision for the marketing of both games. Though one thing we'll come back to later will have some criticism to it, but it's not necessarily in relation to the timing of everything as much as full-on content drops. But anyways, as for Black Ops 4, honestly, not much. Bluntly, we had a few game mode changes and a few shop refreshes along with some other things going away, and that was it. First up, though, let's talk about the return to normalcy in Black Ops 4. The quad feed XP has gone away, as has the double tier boost for Black Ops pass holders, which it was definitely great breezing through the tiers and also the blackout ranks. Personally, I was able to prestige again finally, so I'm all for that. You guys hopefully took advantage of whether it be MP, League Play, Blackout, or Zombies. Whatever you guys are feeling, this week offered, of course, a longer period of time because of the holiday in the States, but it was definitely something great. That's gone away, though, but for clarity, I know that some comments had questions and concerns about the party up feature in the Black Ops pass as of recently, because that was thought to be going away as with the tier boost as of today, but to my knowledge, the party up feature is still a thing and had no time limit on it. So it's there for all, which to me is really good that it doesn't have anything restricting that. And I know that some people did actually voice their concerns saying, well, I didn't buy it because I didn't want it, but that creates that weird schism of damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I understand both sides, but it does open up the DLC to more players, whereas previously there wouldn't be that opportunity, especially because there's no split in terms of what you can buy. You can't buy a DLC pack 1, 2, or 3. You have to buy it all or nothing. The quad feed as well as the tier boost is gone as of today. That's probably not going to be coming back for a little bit of time, probably next scene, a couple of weeks into the Days of Summer event. But what was added, though, not taken away, on the MP front, let's talk about the brand new bolt action bare bones game mode. This mode for MP is very similar to One Shot from previous entries in the franchise, and personally, I had honestly a ton of fun with it. And if you play in a party, you should be pretty good. I personally didn't find as many sweats as I thought I would, but truth be told, maybe it's that old adage that if you're not finding it, maybe you're the one that you're looking for. So if you're not finding sweats, maybe you are the sweats. Maybe it's true after all, but regardless, this is a mode that allows you to use only the snipers, combat knives, and launchers in the weapon categories, and then has the natural bare bones tag-alongs like no specialist, no special issue, no gear, no operator mods, and so on. The playlist consists of TDM and domination on a fairly even rotation, so you get a decent taste of both of those as well. One thing, though, that I will say is that currently knifing is terribly annoying, and the SDM spam as of recording this is definitely something that is going to make you absolutely mad, but apparently from what I've heard, and also was later then confirmed by tweets by Tony Flame, is that there are going to be restrictions to the combat knife and the SDM coming in a hotfix very soon. The launcher seems to be staying to combat streaks, so you can take those out if you want to play a little more objective to help out your team and not necessarily just playing for the kills on your own end. But out of the few hours I played, I personally didn't come in contact with one launcher, so I didn't have as many problems with that, but I'm definitely looking forward to getting rid of the SDMs and the knives, so I'm okay with that. Hopefully it comes as soon as possible. Again, as of recording this, there is no ETA on that hotfix, so your guess is as good as mine, but knowing my luck, it'll probably go live right after I make this video, and will probably be live as the video being out. Interestingly though, my initial theory looks to hold true because the standard Barebones Deathmatch stayed in the featured tab, as well as offering the Barebones Essentials with all weapons playable, seemingly maybe to cut down the sniper spam in the regular modes and then allocate those players to their own bolt action playlist. As well, Endurance Chaos Mosh Pit, Infected, and Prop Hunt have all returned or have stayed constant, as well as with this update, so a few fan favorites all around. And this week, personally, I'm actually pretty interested in the game modes. I may end up ranking up a bit for the first time in forever in MP. On the Blackout front, though, we end up seeing the reintroduction of Close Quarters Frenzy. This is an honestly fantastic game mode that is a ton of fun, but it offers only SMGs, shotguns, and pistols. The collapse is as well increased in its speed, and I also believe that the damage of it does a little more, so that damage has been increased, so you want to make sure that you're on the move and not camping the edge of zone all that much. This again is still a ton of fun, even though it's not necessarily a brand new mode, and if you jump in with a squad, you can definitely run it up. Personally, I've been really feeling the SOG or the Cordite along with the GKS or the Daemon, sort of dual wielding those SMGs, but it also can be advantageous to end up taking a shotty as well. If you end up taking one though, make sure you take the SG-12 over the MOG just for that fire rate that you end up having. Plus, if you end up putting the extended mags on that thing, it's definitely very helpful, but I feel like since it's not Alcatraz and it's not as close quarters, I can get away with a little more of the dual SMG play. It allows me to spray down my enemies a little bit further over range and also not really have to worry about reloading all that much and letting them get away. Just like Gaz used to say, remember, switching to your pistol is always faster than reloading, but in this case, well, it's not a pistol, it's just another awesome gun. If I were to guess, this is probably going to last until next week, and then at that point, I'm assuming that Ground War is going to kick in as that featured game mode for Blackout, but nothing is confirmed at the very moment. But that's the next big game mode that's probably going to be touted through the next half of the Operation Split, so looking forward to that one. But this week is a little bit of a filler in terms of game modes, but it's still fun no less. So if you haven't played that or haven't played it in a little bit of time, definitely jump on because I think you'll have a good time with it. Outside of that, the only other things that ended up changing here come down to, well, Blackjack Shop. And for those guys that may be looking for a cool camo or anything like that, unfortunately, there is literally nothing new. It's all rehashes here with this, and so therefore the final week of the first split of Operation Spectre Rising is all repeats. We ended up seeing that firstly we had the dogfight camo, that being the reactive there that you can use on every other weapon as well, was introduced alongside 3 reserve crates. Personally, I don't know off the top of my head any of this stuff in terms of their pricing because I either had it from the tiers or I'd gotten it before, but that is something that is there. I would imagine it's probably 1,000 COD points for it. But then we also end up seeing that we have Ultimus Tac as a Blackout character who was there throughout the operation beforehand, and then also the Valkyrie Mastercraft as well as Ruin outfits is returning from Operation Absolute Zero, in which you end up getting the Valhalla special outfit for Ruin, a couple of calling cards, and then the Valkyrie Mastercraft for the Paladin. This is where I'm coming kind of back to being a little bit critical and not really understanding because, like we mentioned in yesterday's things to look out for, there's still a decent amount of things, at least a handful of customization items that have not been seen yet and are in the game files currently without the need for another title update that will be coming with Days of Summer. So why not introduce those new items and get them out of the way in that regard? And also, the craziest part to me is the fact that out of 5 weeks or so now within the first split of Operation Spectre Rising, do you know how many weeks of new content we've had where there wasn't any overlap of something that's been a rehash or a recycled item in the shop? A big whopping total of 1. I'm really curious as to why this is the case, and the big thing that honestly kind of frustrates me out of the entire thing is that not only have we seen these items before, but it also restricts players from getting access to something else that may be of interest to them. For example, the special orders. If you take a look at it, every single special order except for the very first week of Operation Spectre Rising, which was the Misty special order, every single one of those has been something that's been available for purchase before. Now, I'm not saying that everybody may have bought every single one of these, but some of these were pretty cool, so it wouldn't surprise me if you've had 1, 2, maybe 3, and even 2 of them had pre-order bonuses associated with them. And so therefore, you don't want to buy, say, the MX9 Mastercraft, in which you end up getting the Mastercraft and 10 different reserve cases with it, just to end up getting that 5% tier boost, because, well, you'd be paying $10 for literally almost just that tier boost and some duplicate stickers. The big part of that you already had. Additionally, things in the shop, say, like the dogfight or the plasma drive camo from previous operations, you can't purchase those for the reserve crates, so why can't you retroactively get those applied to your account if you already had those? Same thing goes then for that tier skip. If you don't have the option to, or it's just stupid to buy something twice with some reserve cases, why isn't that tier boost retroactively added to the player's account? It's almost like a double negative in this sense, where you're getting rehashed content, stuff that isn't new, plus it's also penalizing you for those that want to take advantage of what those things may offer if they were new. So in that sense, I just don't understand the reasoning here for this and why it's been so lackluster this first half of Operation Spectre Rising. I'm hoping that with Days of Summer it gets a little better, and I'm hoping that we don't see as many rehashes or recycled items in the shop or something like that later on down the line. But regardless, I just hope that the content is handled a little better within Days of Summer. So one can hope, but that is everything that changed here. It really honestly wasn't all that much. So unfortunately, it's kind of a waiting period in terms of transitioning into Days of Summer and also what may be on deck for Call of Duty 2019 with the marketing of that. So kind of Black Ops 4 has been pushed to the wayside here at this, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to with Days of Summer? Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to with the potential reveal for Call of Duty 2019 this week? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And also, are you guys enjoying the new Bolt Action Bare Bones playlist? Love to get your feedback on all that kind of stuff, so hopefully enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things of Black Ops 4, MP, Blackout, Zombies. We get you covered the best of updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. So if any of that interests you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. And also, Call of Duty 2019 stuff is literally right around the corner, so stick it here if you're interested in any of that. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are also the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But let's end out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Minus Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.